The salty wind whipped through Captain Morgan's unruly hair as he stood at the helm of the Sea Serpent, his ship slicing through the tempestuous waves. His crew, a ragtag bunch of misfits, clung to the rigging, eyes wide with fear. They were on a quest, one that would lead them to the fabled dragon's hoard. Legend whispered of a hidden island shrouded in mist, where a colossal dragon guarded its treasure. The hoard was said to contain not only gold and jewels, but also ancient scrolls, magical artifacts, and the key to ultimate power. Captain Morgan's greed burned hotter than the sun, and he would stop at nothing to claim it. As the storm intensified, lightning forked across the sky, illuminating the jagged cliffs of the Forbidden Island. The Sea Serpent crashed against the rocks, splintering its hull. The crew scrambled onto the shore, their eyes wide with anticipation. Deep within the island's heart lay the dragon's lair, a cavern of darkness and fire. Captain Morgan led his crew through winding tunnels, their torches flickering. The air grew hotter, and the walls seemed to pulse with ancient magic. And there, coiled upon a bed of glittering gems, lay the beast itself, Drakthor, the last of the fire-breathing dragons. Its scales shimmered like molten gold, and its eyes held centuries of wisdom and rage. The dragon stirred, its wings unfolding, and Captain Morgan's heart raced. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Drakthor's voice echoed through the cavern. Captain Morgan stepped forward, his cutlass drawn. "I am Captain Morgan, seeker of treasures. We've come for the dragon's hoard." Drakthor's laughter rumbled like distant thunder. "Foolish mortals, the hoard is not for the greedy. It holds the balance of the world." But Captain Morgan was undeterred. He lunged, blade flashing, but the dragon's tail swept him aside. The crew fought valiantly, but Drakthor's flames consumed them. Only Captain Morgan remained, battered and bloodied. Drakthor regarded the captain with curiosity. "Why do you seek the hoard?" Captain Morgan's eyes burned with determination. "Power!" he gasped. "To rule the seas, to bend destiny to my will." The dragon's eyes narrowed. "Power corrupts, Captain, but perhaps there is another way." Drakthor's gaze shifted to the crystal heart of the hoard. "I offer you a bargain. Take what you desire, but in return, you must perform a task for me." Captain Morgan hesitated. "What task?" Drakthor's voice was a low rumble. "Retrieve the lost egg of our kind, the last hope for dragon survival. It lies hidden in the heart of the human world." Captain Morgan weighed the options. The egg was rumored to hold immense power, and if he succeeded, he could reshape the world. But failure meant death. Captain Morgan emerged from the cavern, the hoard's magic coursing through him. He rebuilt the Sea Serpent, its timbers infused with ancient knowledge. Drakthor's words echoed in his mind. "Balance, Captain. Every treasure exacts a price." And so Captain Morgan set sail once more, not as a pirate seeking wealth, but as a reluctant hero. His quest took him across treacherous seas, through enchanted forests, and into the heart of human cities. Along the way, he faced trials, made allies, and discovered the true meaning of power. The lost dragon egg awaited him, an iridescent orb pulsing with life. As he cradled it in his arms, Captain Morgan knew that his choice would shape not only his fate, but the fate of two worlds. The egg was hidden in the heart of the bustling city of Eldoria. Captain Morgan disguised himself as a merchant, blending into the throngs of humans. The streets were narrow, winding, and filled with the scent of spices and secrets. He followed rumors and ancient maps, seeking the egg's location. The trail led him to the Grand Library, where scholars whispered of forbidden knowledge. There, in the dusty archives, he found a cryptic scroll, a riddle that pointed to the egg's resting place. The riddle spoke of moonlit gardens, forgotten temples, and a single white rose. Captain Morgan deciphered the clues, piecing together a path that wound through the city's underbelly. He encountered thieves, beggars, and mystics, all with their own agendas. Finally, in the heart of the moonlit garden, Captain Morgan found the white rose, a solitary bloom that glowed like moonlight itself. Its petals were delicate, almost translucent. But it was no ordinary flower. It was a portal. As the midnight hour approached, Captain Morgan pressed the rose against the ancient stone wall. The petals yielded, and he stepped through, leaving the bustling city behind. The air changed, thick with magic and anticipation. He emerged into a hidden glade, a place untouched by time. The moon hung low, casting silver beams upon a nest cradling the dragon egg. It was larger than he'd imagined, its shell shimmering with iridescence. Captain Morgan's breath caught as he reached for it. But then he heard a whisper, a voice that seemed to come from the very earth. "Captain," it said, "you seek power, but do you understand sacrifice?" Captain Morgan hesitated. What sacrifice? The glade shifted, revealing a figure, a woman with eyes like starlight. To claim the egg, you must give up something of equal value. A life for a life. Captain Morgan's mind raced. Whose life? His own? Another's? He thought of his crew, lost in the dragon's flames. Could he save them? The woman extended her hand. Choose. He remembered their faces, their laughter, their loyalty, and he knew what he had to do. Captain Morgan made his decision. He would sacrifice his own life to save his crew. He would become the guardian of the dragon egg, ensuring its survival until it hatched. The woman nodded, and the glade pulsed with energy. Captain Morgan's memories flooded him, the taste of salt on his lips, the thrill of the open sea, the weight of responsibility. He felt himself fading, becoming part of the magic that bound the egg. As his vision blurred, he whispered, "Protect them." And then, he was gone. The egg hatched, a burst of fire and light. A dragonling emerged, its scales a mix of gold and silver. It nuzzled Captain Morgan's lifeless body, absorbing his essence. The dragonling would carry his memories, his love, and his sacrifice. Draktha appeared, his eyes solemn. "You chose well, Captain. The balance is restored." The dragonling spread its wings, ready to soar. It would protect both worlds, the human and the magical. And Captain Morgan's legacy would live on. As the sun rose, the sea serpent sailed away, its crew unaware of their captain's fate. But they felt a change, a whisper on the wind, a promise of hope. And so, the legend of Captain Morgan and Draktha continued, a tale of greed, sacrifice, and the fragile equilibrium that held existence together.